No, two things. I'm not gonna. I fear God and I fear the FBI.
The rappers on this list had their careers ruined, and you won't believe some of the names on this list and why their careers were ruined. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next one. Number 8, 6ix9ine.
Squad full of killers, I'm a killer too. Shot.
One that is very recent is that of 6ix9ine, who faces life in prison for a variety of charges. Those charges include armed robbery, drug trafficking, and ordering hits on some of his rivals. According to documents now released to the public, the rapper, who was notorious for his songs and lifestyle, apparently helped orchestrate numerous robberies, some of which led to actual shootings being committed. He also apparently recorded some of these events, which helped him get arrested, ironically enough. Many of these charges have life sentence potential, which is nothing to joke about. Even if they are dropped, the singer and several of his associates were also arrested on racketeering charges, ones that are just as serious, and all but guaranteed jail time. At the time of this video, 6ix9ine is in jail and was denied bail. It doesn't look very good for him right now, and the saddest part of all is that many of his crimes that he's charged with only took seconds to turn away from. Number 7, Lil Wayne.
When I'm talking to you, you looking at me, but I'm looking through you.
Another artist who is definitely still popular, but most definitely isn't as popular as he once was, is Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne first took a hit in 2013 when he sang a lyric that talked about the death of a child back in 1955 due to racism. Except he didn't honor that kid. Rather, he insulted his memory by literally singing a lie about the events that had happened. A lot of people weren't happy about this, and so Lil Wayne actually had to write a statement apologizing for what he did. I have tremendous respect for those who paved the way for liberty and opportunities that African Americans currently enjoy. The lollipop rapper wrote in a lengthy apology. As a business owner who employs several African American employees and gives philanthropically to organizations to help the youth pursue their dreams, my ultimate intention is to uplift rather than degrade our community. Not so ironically, it didn't end there. In 2016, he was asked about the Black Lives Matter movement, a movement that he as an African-American singer should be all for and support with all his heart and soul, but instead, he just didn't know what it was. How does that happen? I mean, it literally explains itself, and yet he didn't know what it was. We can only assume that he just doesn't watch the news. The interview where he was asked the question ended with him saying that he wasn't a politician, which totally wasn't the point of the question. While Lil Wayne is still popular to some extent, he's not like what he used to be. Number 6, Ja Rule.
In this book, you say that you guys, you and your team, beat 50 Cent
Absolutely.
Arguably one of the biggest career enders in history, 50 Cent and Ja Rule went at it for some time. And it all started not because of music, but because of a robbery. Apparently one of 50 Cent's crew robbed Ja Rule, and Rule had to use some influence to get his stuff back. This began a feud that lasted years, and for a while it wasn't clear who was gonna win. Ja Rule had the experience and many hits by his side, as well as Grammy nominations for his tracks. He even had support from the big guns like Jay-Z and DMX. One problem though, 50 Cent had fire. And he also had Eminem and Dr. Dre by his side, and they actually supported him more. When 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, came out, not only was it a massive success, it put Ja Rule down so hard that he hasn't gotten back up since. All this time, he's still trying to do something big, but he just can't. He even restarted the beef with 50 Cent in 2015 after a comparison between them and modern day singers went wrong. 50 Cent meanwhile has never had the success that the first album had, however he's made it in Hollywood as an actor and as the producer of Power on Stars, which is a big hit. So yeah, 50 Cent ended Ja Rule in a few seconds on a diss track. Number 5, Chino XL.
Ebola for this rap garage sale by this industry. I'm trying not to get like Tupac in jail.
When you hear the name Tupac, many different things come to mind. Not the least of which is his tragic death to this day, which is a pit of controversy and questions. But during his life, Tupac had many things going on with him, including beefs with various rappers. Some were professional and for personal fun, like how he had battles with Notorious Big to try and make himself stronger. But then there was a rivalry with Chino XL, and that beef almost ended XL's career, and in many ways it kinda did. Ironically enough, this whole thing was started by an accident. For you see, in one of Chino XL's debut tracks, he said a line about Tupac, and when he did, and it was released, Tupac thought he had said something very different. I won't say what, but you can figure it out if you look at the lyrics. Anyway, this started a beat that went on for a bit, mainly via Tupac's diss track on Chino XL called Hit 'Em Up, which some call the biggest diss track of all time, depending on how you talk to. XL replied with a freestyle rap, and this is where things went wrong. For you see, he went so harsh and vile on Tupac in the rap that many felt it was wrong. Granted, diss tracks are about disses, but there are lines and limits, and many felt that XL broke those. It also wasn't long after this that Tupac died. And many say that XL's freestyle hurt Tupac in ways that led to his death. Tupac became a legend after his death. And Chino XL? Well, he didn't aspire to nearly that much. Number 4, Azealia Banks.
Give me my shit! Give me my bag.
Alright, this one's a bit tricky as Azealia Banks is without a doubt still making music. However, it's clear to those who know the story while it's famous. It's not entirely because of her music. Not anymore. For those who have listened to Banks' music knows that she's incredibly gifted. She's had many hits over the years, and for good reasons. She's been nominated for numerous awards as well. So where did it all go wrong for her? Simply, she found out about Twitter. We've all heard about people who go overboard on Twitter, but for Azealia Banks, it went way too far. She uses the social media platform to not just go to war with certain people in the world, including the likes of Sarah Palin, but also to swing slurs at people which have gotten her account blocked because of them. It's literally like she can't help herself, and yet she keeps going and going, and furthermore, she's a bit volatile. There's a well-documented video of Banks trying to get off a plane by rushing past people waiting in line, and when she gets blocked by a guy, she starts to attack him. When the flight attendant got involved, she got up in her face and threw slurs at her.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I was coming through.
It still doesn't end there. One time she went to a hosted party by Russell Crowe and then accused him of assaults among other things. The person who brought her to the party, RZA, noted that she started the so-called incident and supported Crowe by noting that he didn't do all that she claimed. SZA noted that she had started the so-called incident and supported Crowe by noting that he didn't do all that she claimed. So as of right now, Banks is more known for her over-the-top personality and feuds than her actual music, all because of some split-second reactions and some tweets. Alright, little update. She just got suspended on Twitter. Like, she's gone. Jack had enough of her. Number 3, Milli Vanilli. Granted, these guys were more R&B singers than rap, but they had one of the biggest ruined careers ever in music when they were exposed. Exposed for what? Well, not actually being singers. You see, the duo were actually guys who decided to hire other people to sing their songs, and then they pretended to sing them themselves via lip syncing, and it worked. And no one could tell the difference. And their fame skyrocketed because of it. They actually got a Grammy for Best New Artist. And their tracks sold millions of records and albums. They were one of the most popular groups in all of music in the late 80s and early 90s. But all good things must come to an end. Or in this case, what's in the darkness must come out to the light. One of their singers, the ones who actually sang for them, came forward and noted that Milli Vanilli wasn't actually singing at all. Accusations began to build, and sure enough, they came out and admitted that they were frauds. This started a wave of hate against the band, and led to a lot of lawsuits and them returning the Grammy that they had won. They honestly did try to make a comeback in the late 90s, but when one of their singers died, they knew it was done. Through all of this, you might be wondering, what was the mistake that they made that ruined their careers in seconds? Well, it wasn't them getting exposed or even their admission, rather their mistake of when they said yes to the idea of being fake singers. It took them seconds to say that, and it ruined their lives in many ways. Number 2, Ice Cube and Common.
I look like this in the whole coast. You ain't made shit dope since America's most wanted.
I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, both these guys still have careers, and they're respected. And yeah, you're right, both Ice Cube and Common are still going strong today in their own ways, but for one of them, it almost went very badly. You see, in the 90s, there was a war going on, but not the war you might think. This was between the East Coast rappers and the West Coast rappers, and they weren't backing down from any fight that came their way. And I mean that in the worst possible way. Ice Cube was one of the founders of NWA, which was West Coast proud, while Common was on the East Coast. One day, Common wrote and released a song called I Used to Love Her. He made several references to LA, where Ice Cube is from, as well as to the West Coast in general. Ice Cube heard this and wrote back to him a few bars of his own in his albums, and when Common heard that, he bounced back with his epic diss track, The Bitch and Yo, where Common all but destroyed Ice Cube. Typically, this would have ended badly. But ironically, after the passing of Tupac and Biggie Smalls, a peace conference was held to put an end to the violence. Ice Cube and Common famously hugged at this conference, and the battle was over. But many see this diss track by Common to be the final nail in Cube's rapping career. His next 2 albums weren't liked very well, and by the time they came out, he went on and tried to be an actor and producer, which he is still today. So while one career was born, another definitely died in its own way. Number 1, CeeLo Green.
Come on now, who do you think you are?
Sometimes the biggest detriment to a singer's career is their own personality. CeeLo Green looks like a guy you would like to have fun with, and he's clearly got a voice.
Yeah, I guess he's an Xbox, and I'm more Atari.
And he's done a lot of big tracks over the years. His YouTube popularity was a big part of his career, and it earned him a lot of things as time went on. He kept on getting bigger and bigger. He did endorsement deals, he was a successful voice actor, and a key part of the Hotel Transylvania films. And he was one of the original hosts of the hit NBC show The Voice. So, what went wrong? Well, CeeLo Green has had numerous run-ins with the law, but after this one particular case involving ecstasy, which is illegal to own and distribute, CeeLo went to Twitter to try and defend himself in the eyes of the public. Not only did this not work, it was actually taken down because it was actual evidence in the case against him. Many fans have since turned against CeeLo, and many even took screenshots of the tweet to put him online so that he can't run away from what he said. Not unlike Ice Cube, he still has an acting and producing career, but his musical success will never be like it was before. Thanks for watching, and can you believe some of the things that got these people's careers ruined? Also, do you feel bad for them, or do you not? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on King Trending. Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.